Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ronnie just coming you here today with a video. Gonna do some talking about where we are at for the month. We are, what's today? Today's 10. So we're 9 days in. Today's not over yet, so we can't really talk about today. But so far this month's it's really crazy. It's so up and down. Every day is a different day. Um, you know, most of the days have been pretty decent, except for that $0 day. And then we had back to back 600 plus days, which is a good thing. Um, Yesterday was pretty decent for sales for 287.93. I'm waiting on two payments from two different people though for shooting offers to eBay. I got to do something a little bit different because I noticed I've been waiting on offers a little bit long. We had that one person that didn't pay this month, and that was the first time I ever got that. So I had to take that off the total. So far after 9 days, we're at $3,032.79, and I'm waiting on two payments. One from today for 85, and one for what's today? Sunday. One from Friday for 95. So I don't know. Open a case in a little bit and see what's going on. I don't do best offer, but I'll shoot somebody a message to the best offer. They give you that button so you can shoot them a message in the messages. But I think what I'm going to do is just start changing the price. What I do, since I automatically have that they have to pay when they buy the item, and that will fix that issue. That's it, really. I've had some weird returns opened up lately, and I think people are just fishing for refunds. Fishing for a little bit of money back. So I'm not really concerned about it. You'll see sometimes people will give you these. They'll open returns and they never return the item. About 50% of our returns never get returned. So I'm going to go through here in a little bit and answer some of our viewer questions, just because sometimes it's easier to answer some of the viewer questions more, and some of the questions I just liked, and I'll just talk about. I just like them and I'll read them, and some I'll bring clarity because a few people messaged me and I'm like, whoa, time out. I don't think you caught the whole. You hear one word or two words and you run with it, but you're missing the point of the sale. So yeah, so the sales were four sales, 287.93, bringing us just over $3,000. Our average sale price is still doing very well. I have it down here somewhere. I have a lot of different papers in front of me. We're at 77.76, odd number, but I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I'll give John a wrench. I almost put John in a timeout. That would have been good. But okay, there we go. But everything's going good. We're in a good place at the moment. Everything's looking good. And I seen a question right here. I can answer that real quickly. Where'd it go? Oh, Samuel asks, have we ever done a bulk purchase and where? We've done a few bulk purchases. A few times we've done a few off of Craigslist with people that do like estate cleanouts and stuff like that. One lady does. She bought stuff from a friend that used to do like fashion things. Probably it was about 4 years ago. We bought like Chanel and a bunch of like higher end shoes, like Prada shoes, Jimmy Choo. I'm killing names, Prada and stuff like that. A Balenciaga Python bag and stuff like that. We got them real cheap. Lady gave us a good price. It was really nice. Stuff like that. But but so that went about its way, and yeah, I mean that was most of our deals have come off of Craigslist. So, we had another one come off of just somebody watch. A few deals have come off of people watching us through YouTube. You know, we get some deals, people come to us and be like, "Hey, watch your videos. I have this, this, and this. I can't get rid of, or I don't have time to list it, or I was selling this at a time and now I moved on to this." And, we'll work out a deal and try to get something done. We did a deal like that in November for a product, a bunch of products that are something that I'm not even used to dealing with. We drove, filled up a U-Haul, and came back, and that was it. We sold a bunch of different things and moved about our way. Um, so that was the one thing. So let me see here. Some of our questions that we had here. Let me see. There's one question. I wrote down the people's names so I can remember who to go to. All right. Somebody wrote, World Top 10. Do you research pricing every time you list, or do you go off of memory? Now, it all depends on that item and how recent that item is for us. Like if it's something I haven't sold in a year, or usually if something we haven't picked up something in like 6 months or something like that, usually we will wait around for a little bit, and I'll look comps up real fast. It doesn't take much to go through eBay sold listings and figure out exactly like like how much something may run or something may cost, or what something's selling for, to see what it should sell for. Sometimes you have to be a little more specific, go into certain sizes, colors, depends on what it is. Things will fluctuate and stuff like that. But it just depends on how recent I picked up something. But a lot of times we picking up a lot of the same thing over and over and over and over, and price doesn't really fluctuate that much. But that's really how that question goes. I mean, I look up things to see where things are and prices are, but that's about it. Another one, another question here is, what was your best month on eBay? Our best month was probably, I think it was either 2 or 3 years ago. It goes back to what was our best month was probably two. I think it was 2 years ago. We had the warehouse. I'm kind of forgetting how long ago I had the warehouse. It was either 2 or 3 years ago, when we were like pushing real hard into it. And I think it was April. Yeah, April that year, we wind up selling. I remember it was 209 items, which I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's not a lot of things. 209 items." It isn't. Not when you see these people pushing out like 100 things, and and it doesn't matter really, really all that much. But it goes down to just like, it's 209 items. But for those 209 items, we did bring in $14,300. So it was really nice. So it was good. It was like what's that, about $70 average probably. So it was really good. That was our best month. and it was really nice. Dave, do you see a slowdown for suits and sport coats, blazers in the summer? Yes, there is a big slowdown over the summer months for suits and sport coats. Suits and sport coats typically sell well from October to May ish. And with a big part of it being in the spring is where they sell the best. February to May, weddings, you got Easter, you got, you know, just all kinds of things, graduations. People are looking to buy more in this time. You'll be seeing a lot more sales. People still do buy in other times because as the weather gets cooler and people do tend to buy clothes as the weather changes. People will look for specific things. Keep seeing this light blink over here. So you'll see that happen every once in a while. But there is a slowdown, big time slowdown. Like clothing sales in general just drop off in the summer. Like once June comes, June, July, it's like playing Fruit Ninja. I mean, they just drop off. I mean, it's just big time. But you know, it's just part of the game. It's just what happened. People are not in front of their computers. People are not at work. People are on vacation and stuff like that. So usually a lot of time I will take time off. I don't even like the last 2 years, I've took a lot of time off and just to not be worried about burnout or anything like that. But let me see here. Ronnie, what inspired you to get into clothing? I still can't get myself to dabble in that market yet. I don't know. I got into it because thrift stores are majority of like you go into a thrift store and a majority of what you see is clothing. Now, for the life of me, I can't figure out women's clothing. Like, or unless it's like in a boutique section or it's on a new rack that gets pushed out at a thrift store or something I can see behind the counter at a thrift store, like they're showcasing that item. I will, if it's a women's item, maybe I'll pick it up and I know I can make money on it. But otherwise, I stay away from it. Like, I'm not looking through racks in the women's section at all. Men's clothing, I've just become over the years now, it's almost 7 years now since being I was a part-time reseller for almost 3. We've been a full-time reseller for 4. We started becoming this, you know, started to really work into reselling and really starting to figure it out, you know, and clothing is just fun. I really enjoy clothing. Now, clothing is not going to be for everybody. And that's the thing. Everybody's not going to be able to find nice enough stuff in their area, or they may not be able to, like suits and sport coats, there's a huge learning curve. And sometimes no matter how many videos you watch or how many articles you read, that's what took me. It took me years to understand that it's okay to leave a Brioni suit in a store because it's an outdated style. It's a Brioni suit that has these wide lapels. Maybe they're asking, let's just throw a number out there, $35. I'm looking at that item and going, it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to sell that, let's say for 75 to 100. And somebody might pick it up thinking, oh, wow, Brioni sells. Oh, wow, they look at comps on Brioni and they see the highest suits are selling for 400, 500. We've sold suits, you know, some in that price range, but they have to be the more recent current models or styles. They can't be something that's 20, 30 years old because that style is just big wide lapels or a 3-button front or certain styles. Or if you ever look at certain movies or if you watch Comedy Central, they have like some of the comedy shows from like the 90s. Look at the baggy suits that the people wore. Like that style is totally out. And a lot of like brands like Canali, um, some Brioni, and other brands had that fit. The suits were like baggy, the pants were baggy, and that's not the style now. Now is a more of a tight fit, modern style. Everything's that slim fit. So it's definitely, things change. It's hard to keep up. You constantly These brands change their tags every so often. They change their labels every so often. And unless you have the most current label, you can't get that top price. And that's the same thing. Certain like Zegna will sell really well if you have the current brand or the current labels. They'll sell decent, really well. They'll even sell fast. But if you have something that's a little dated, it becomes really hard for that brand to sell. So it becomes something I enjoy doing, and it took a while for me to get there. It didn't happen overnight, but I really enjoy it. I really love it. But there's nothing I love more than going to estate sales. I love going to yard sales. Thrift stores, tell you the truth, I'm overrated. All overrated. I've learned to do it because it helps me live a life that I enjoy, being full time, not working for somebody else, and that's what I enjoy. It's what I enjoy a lot, but it takes a little while to really get into it, and not everybody's going to get into it. And you got to remember, clothing in general, some of it is really long tail, especially suits and sport coats are long tail. Let me see here. How do you pay yourself? Do you just take a set amount each week, or it depends on your sales? I try to pay myself. I try to cut myself a check every week. That doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but that's how we have it set up. I pay myself, and that's it. We're going through a restructuring thing this year, trying to break down, because I have a business and we're trying to break down the business. We're trying to dissolve the business this year. So there's a lot of different moving pieces this year, going over this with my CPA and everything. We're trying to, I was up the other day at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to work on certain things. And man, I was up late. The first part was okay because I was in a hangout with a few people, but man, after that, they disappeared. Like at 2 o'clock, it was like I was by myself for a few more hours, and I'm like, I had to see her in a few hours, and I knew it was like, oh man, this sucks. But I had to finish. I had to get stuff done. Hopefully, we'll be back into the hangout modes here. Chad's finally making videos again. He was on. We did a show last week on this channel on Tuesday. Hopefully, we'll get the Friday show back together here and on Chad's channel with Pete, and hopefully everything will be good. And hopefully, we could have fun with that. But let me see here. I'm downsizing, but our shops have priced themselves out of the business. Our Goodwill is also selling online and pushing higher price ticket items to list themselves. They have mannequin and light boxes. I mean, I've heard a lot of certain Goodwills and stuff doing that, but it depends on like where you live, like where we live. And I think a lot of people don't quite understand this. Like where we live, we only have 2 stores, really. We have a Goodwill and the Salvation Army. We have another Salvation Army that is maybe 20, 25 minutes away on a good day. That Salvation Army I found out someone told me that property's for sale because they want to close that location. And so I have to go and then 30 minutes to the next closest store, which is a Savers thrift store. And then if I want to go to the next closest Goodwill, it's an hour away. So I'm not really close to any stores. So I really have to travel to either Providence or Boston to do a majority of my thrifting. And where we are, there's a lot of smaller stores. So luckily, and we have Savers probably outnumbers all our thrift stores because Goodwills in our area are mainly focused in Boston, and it's a really pain to get around Boston. And the Salvation Armies are everywhere but Boston. So it's a pain really to go thrifting. Like we go thrifting, or I should say myself, because my wife does her full-time thing. She's got her dream job at the moment, and she's having fun with it, I guess. Some days not. But hey, that's the part of working for somebody else. I mean, it's no different than us. We work for ourselves, and some days we have good days, and some days we have bad days. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things. But let me see here. Let me think for a moment. Get back my train of thought. But oh man, what did I forget about saying? But it's one of those things where it's just what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the stores. We go to a lot of stores, so where one store may not do well for us because they're doing this, they're doing that. We go out of our area. I'll drive 200 miles round trip to go to 10, 12, 15 stores to kind of find whatever I need to find for that week or for those 2 weeks, and just really go out there to do whatever needs to be done. Like it's just do whatever has to be done. It doesn't matter, and it's just one of those things. I'll drive to New Hampshire. It's not uncommon for me to go to Maine for a few days, to go to Connecticut, even though Connecticut probably is the worst thrift stores in the world, in the country. Like their thrift pricing is ridiculously crazy. Did you ever try Woonsocket? Did you ever try Woonsocket? Woonsocket, Rhode Island? I was just there yesterday. On my way to my cousin's nephew's birthday party, I went to Woonsocket. They got a Savers over there. I think they got a Salvation Army too. It's on their main street. I think it has two floors, 3 floors. Only been there once. I don't like it. But let me see. Can you get me a deal on airfare to Vegas, Ronnie? Airfare is crazy price high lately. I can get airfare for myself for free, but I can't get airfare. But the way it works, I mean, they can't get airfare for anybody else. Unless you're like a family member. I think they pick like 5 family members. I think it's 5, or maybe it's 10 family members. I forgot exactly. But there's so many people on that. There's a few people on that list that they can get like airfare, but there's like no discounts or anything they can give to anybody else, unfortunately. That was like one of the first thing a lot of our family members were like doing to her, and I felt bad. Certain ones, like she hasn't heard from me in a little while, they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm going away next month. And I'm like, oh, that's shady. I'm a Celtic fan this week. Last week, I was not a Celtic fan. They were losing all their games at home. I was ready to send Kyrie packing. I was very upset. But let me see here. Oh, that's funny. Some people don't like me doing these videos today, and these days, I guess, anymore. I guess we're back to this again. It's all good. Very nice, Josh. Nice thing. But we're gonna get back to the. I'm gonna leave the comments alone for a moment. Hopefully, my little trolling friends don't come back over there. Oh, that's hilariously funny. But I had a message here from Kyle I thought was fun. The original YouTube reseller, and the last one of them I still watch, and he doesn't charge $4.99 to watch a month. I thought that was cute and funny. I mean, it does seem like a lot of people want to do something to get paid to do something. I mean, it's what it is. I'm not gonna bash anybody today. It's 2019. We're in a different place on YouTube these days. We got to be, Dora the Explorer friendly. PG-13 this week anyway. Can't be that mad. But this was a question I thought was very interesting, and I wonder how many of you people in the chat really feel this way about this. Their username's a bunch of numbers, but I still believe that we are being throttled. And I think this is a response to one day I had 0 sales. The day before that, I was at 300, and then I had 0, and then we had back-to-back days of 600 plus. And they were talking about their sales. They still, okay, I still believe that we are being throttled for periods of time with the eBay algorithm. Your days without a sale then bounce back the next day could be an example of my theory. Yesterday, all of our sales came from a specific category. The day before, a different category that dominated. Most of our sales activity falls into groups, categories, times, prices, etc. We have bounced around the 10K month numbers for a while now. It was a easy getting there, but it's been difficulty trying to get to the next level. We are listing every day and more. It does make a difference, but there is something else at play. Have you seen the undercover videos of YouTube and other social media suppressing and hiding content? I believe eBay is manipulating their marketplace also. I hope you reach your goal. Is interesting to see the daily results. Now we're gonna get over here. It seems like I can't leave the chat alone for too long today because but how many of you guys in the chat think there's that like eBay just turns off your store for a day? Like they just hide your listings. They just like, hey, we hide your listings. You can't buy from this guy today. Does anybody think that? Just out of curiosity. But that's just, I'm just asking you guys, what do you guys think of that? But I'll now give you my my take on that in 1 minute. I just got it. Okay, there we go. But my take on that really is the fact that I don't think we're being throttled per se. Now I really don't think we're being throttled. And I'll give you this idea. Like a lot of people commented, not really anybody commented, but I did get a few messages, 2 on Instagram, and I had 1 email about this and 1 on Facebook. So, and then with somebody, at least 1 person left a 1 on YouTube. So it was 5 total that commented about this. And I thought about it, like, is this something that people really think about? Is this something really out there? And I thought about it for a little bit, like, this is interesting. Is it really eBay sales being throttled? And I take it as this, like, let's say you have a business, and the biggest common denominator I got from a few people is they think, well, they should have the same sales every day. They have the same listings every day. They don't understand that sales go up and down, and months go up and down, and summer should be just as good as winter, and blah, blah, blah. They just feel like eBay should be flat across, like really nothing different. But retail stores, for instance, are not that way. Retail stores, we all know, kind of suck in the winter. I mean, in the summer, they don't really get traction. They're down in the pits. They don't make money. That's why they have huge sales going into fourth quarter. That's why they try to roll out that money, try to get you to come in there. That's why there's things like Black Friday and is it Black Friday? Yeah, Black Friday. I thought I was just coming up with a new shopping day or something. You know, or if you're in other places, what is it? Boxing Day, which is confusing what that means. I mean, it could be Boxing Day in U.S. too. I mean, the way it's going in my chat today, I mean, it's going to be Boxing Day if I ever find out who is trolling me. Let me tell you right now. But you know, it's one of those things where stores go up and down. It's no different when I work in the restaurant where we are in Cape Cod. Our summers when I worked in the restaurant were crazy busy, but the rest of the time of year, nothing went on. Nothing. Like, come to eat at a restaurant in Cape Cod in the winter. You might be a handful of people in a restaurant. Now, in the summertime, you come down here to get breakfast. Every restaurant after 7 o'clock in the morning, you're probably waiting an hour to get freaking fed. Hour to get maybe a table, then some time to get fed because the restaurant's full. Crazy. And a lot of the restaurants here only make money over 2 or 3 months. That's kind of how eBay works in a way, in a specific way. You can look on eBay and you can go through, I forgot what the hell it's called now. Let me go to eBay real quick. But you can go to eBay's growth thing, and it's on there, and you can go and check in things and sourcing guidance. I think it was. We did a whole video on this, and it really tells you and shows you the difference in like the up and downs of like sport coats and how they're heavy at certain times of the year. They're real heavy, and then other times they dip down and go back up. And it's the same thing with clothing. Clothing in general, certain times of the year is like just garbage, like times. Like the 3 J's are probably the worst months for selling clothing. June, July, and August. Like clothing is always going to be up and down because you can't control who's going to come into your store and buy what. And you got to remember what most of our stores, like me for myself, I don't even know if I have 700 things in my store at this moment. Like, I can barely keep above 700 things in my store. Every time I get to 700 things, I'm constantly getting down. Like, I wanted to get to 1,000 things, and it's just getting to the point where I just have to keep pushing myself to get quality items, which I feel that are going to sell in a specific time frame and sell quickly. You know, and we look for quality items. And sometimes I do well, sometimes I won't. Right now, we have currently, well, I have some relists to do because some things fell off today. But as currently, right now, I have 641, and I think like 60 fell off. So I have probably approximately 700 listings. Now, how many clothing items are there on eBay? Millions. I'm just a little speck. I'm a piece of pepper in a salt jar. Like a salt jar, like the size of this room, probably. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like, so you can't really. It's just there. It's just I'm just this little guy. Nothing can happen to me. It's like you get a sale. You just have to have that right item. And that's why I kind of try to separate myself from other people by looking for items that have less people on, you know, trying to look for those harder to find things or trying to find things that are not saturated, not picking up certain things. And it's not always easy. Now, if people can get things for $1, it changes the game. differently. You know, where you are in the country, how you shop, what you have to shop, what you have available. There's so many different ways that you can buy and sell stuff, which makes it so much different in so many different ways that it's definitely you could do this from anywhere. You can buy from eBay and sell off of eBay, like we've shown many different times if you want to play that game. Um, you know, like what somebody said here, what would you benefit by hiding your listings? They're out to make money, and that's basically it. I mean, another person here, do you just do pretty much sell clothing? A lot of what we sell is clothing, but it's not everything we sell. Um, we do sell a lot of other things, but clothing is the majority of it. But seems like my chat is a mess today. I guess a lot of people have Sunday off, I guess. Hi, haters. Hi. Oh, boy. Someone else said, are you doing your own international shipping or using GPS, which would be the global shipping program? I have both set up on my thing. I press the button, but I also do my own shipping. I've always done my own shipping. And as long as it's good for me to keep doing it, I will continue to keep doing it. It's easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's easy. And I've never really had an issue with it. It's not really that complicated. Once you do it once or twice, it's really not that bad. If you print your own labels, it's really not that bad and pretty straightforward. I think we have 2 international sales today. I think I just have one right now. We have one going to England. I think we have a second one going to England today. But I mean, I think that would be our 5th international sale of the week. So I mean, we've been getting a lot more international sales lately for whatever reason. I have no idea why. But it's been we shipped a jacket to Germany. We had shipped another jacket to Australia. So it's been pretty cool. But I think there was 2 more things. 2 more things on the list were somebody asked about what percentage do I give for promoted listings. I keep it real simple. I keep it at 2%. 2 or 3%. That's it. I don't do any more than that. eBay's not getting any more money. Like I've showed you the breakdown where we did like, I don't know, $1,500 extra dollars in sales because of promoted listings. And I just sent over, I think it was like $60 extra or something like that. I don't like to give eBay any more money than they have to, but I want to be competitive with other sellers and what they're doing to get a leg up. No, I wouldn't do this on everything. It depends on what you're selling. It really does. So that's pretty cool. I like being the same age. Grew up in the 80s, playing my G.I. Joes and He-Man. But I like to keep it simple on that stuff. There's no way I'm giving eBay, 13% plus giving them another 10% on top of that or something, like when they say their trending rates. I ain't giving them no damn trending rates. 2% and it will work. But and the last one was basically a question on shoe trees, because we sold a pair of shoe trees for $100. I talked about it being a pair of John Lobb shoe trees. John Lobb is probably the most expensive pair of shoes you can get. Probably the most, they're right up there. Probably the best made even shoes you can buy. 2 people messaged me going, why didn't you tell me about shoe trees? I pass these over all the time. And it's like, whoa, time out. You missed the part that they were for the most expensive shoes. And you missed out that they were the most expensive shoes. Like when you're selling a pair of shoes for $500 and probably going to get close to $500, you could sell the shoe trees separate and probably get $50 to $100. You can do that with certain pairs of shoes, like uh, Edward Green or JM Westons or certain shoes. You can get more money for the shoe trees. It's really odd that people will pay up for shoe trees to go with their specific shoes, like trickers or possibly churches. If you just looked over and seen, it would be it's really unique that people would want shoe trees to go with their shoes, even though they're the only person that's going to see it. But they have to have that specific tree to go with that pair of shoes. Really odd, because you can get shoe trees a lot cheaper that would fit that shoe probably. Um, yeah, big drift from my experience. Most of the people that I've seen, I rarely ship anything global shipping program. The last thing I shipped global shipping program uh, was a step for a dog to go into the back of a truck, a heavy hitch. It was a huge ass box, but I wasn't shipping that actually because it was too large to go international mail. It was too large, so it was I put it through the global shipping program. Someone bought it. Now, can global shipping program send that to Norway? I think it went to Norway. Hey, that's up to them. Once they got it, it's not my responsibility anymore. So that's it. Um, so that's it. I mean, that's all I can think of. If anybody has any other questions in like the next 2 minutes or so, but I want to thank a lot of you guys for coming out here. It's really cool. But hey, thank you for Mr. Sadie. What's up, brother? How you doing? I'm bum crack pick. I still love that name. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing, Mothership? The crazy card. A lot of the same names I see a lot. It's pretty cool. Candace Hicks, how you doing? And H guy. I'm assuming you're in New Hampshire with that name. I would hope so. Mr. Sam Dallas. What was I at? I had a bunch of dislikes early, didn't I? I said I had like 20 dislikes. I clicked off of that screen a long time ago. Hey, I got 23. Nice. It's comical that I would have all that, I mean, somebody's hating today. I like it. Somebody's trolling. You gotta love it. For the part of it, I mean, I feel like, what am I, a construction worker going to take your order at the deli? Hey, can I 2 pieces of ham, please? What the hell? But I don't know. Thumbs up counts the same as a thumbs down, so it's like, hey, thank you very much. We were very troll heavy today, weren't we? I can care less, man. I can care less. I know who it's coming from. It's all good. It's all good. I like it. But thank you guys all for coming out. Oh, Mr. Brian, what's up, brother? This is a sports specialty one. See, brother? It's the old one. The old hat. And it's kind of for the most part clean. I don't know who is disliking Glenn. That's not nice either. I could see me because I'm a little rougher on the edges like sandpaper. But like I said, we're being nice in we're being nice in 2019. We're making it PG over here. This is like the Dora Explorer reselling channel. But I'll see you guys all later. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, haters. Bye.